Cheers to episode 122.
Cheers.
Water for Alex. Evan had a Busch Light.
Busch Light, yep, you know it.
And an American flag koozie.
Evan is feeling American today.
Shout out to Wyatt.
Wyatt.
Can't wait to see
Listeners,
that
when
guy
listen to
tomorrow.
this, Wyatt will be home.
Wow.
What time is he
back
going
in
tomorrow?
town? Whenever the black...
Early afternoon.
Whenever
We playing golf tomorrow for the first time this year?
Yeah, you
stealth
know
bomber
it.
lanes.
Spoiler alert.
Wow, Evan's back.
Watches the PGA Championship one time. Rejoins his golf
He
league.
thinks he's ready to be back in golf.
Shoot a solid 55 tomorrow.
That's rich.
Back.
Welcome in to the number one sports show, sports podcast, sports
In the world.
social media account file in the state of Michigan only, because that's really what we talk about. World. Today is Sunday, May 21st, 2023. The time is 7:38 p.m. Eastern. And congratulations to everybody. You've made it to summer if you're listening to this right now. You made it to summer.
Grant's always said Memorial Day weekend's the first weekend of summer, Alex.
Feels like it's a risky thing for Grant to say after what's always happened.
Oh, Alex, grow up.
Well, Alex, did you look at the weather this week?
Is it bad?
No, it was
Or is it
fantastic.
I'm leaving the state.
Get your sun bum on your face. Where are you going?
We'll get there.
Whoa.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm going to North Carolina on Friday. Thursday.
Give Emily our best regards.
I will.
Unless you're going to Carolina for a different reason, then that's very awkward. But that
Nope,
has to be
I'm
that
going
reason.
to see my sister. Yes, correct.
Nice.
Yeah.
Could she become the show's lawyer when she's done?
Sure.
If we
Do
get
we
into
need
any
one?
We could
You
get
might start
edgy.
throwing out even more hot takes and just accusing
Yeah.
people of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Like defamation lawsuits.
Yeah, I'm sure she'd do it for
Sweet.
free. Siblings.
For free. Let's preview the show. What are we even going to talk about today? Well,
Nothing.
first and foremost, we're going to talk about some bad news out of Ann Arbor, Michigan. A double whammy this week of bad news. Then we're going to talk about the Pistons and their coaching search update, which is bordering on circus level for the search. We'll get to that. We have our NBA and NHL Playoffs update. Selfishly, I'd like to just say a word about Man City winning the Premier League at some point. PGA Championship recap of our picks. Shout out to guest Cody. Got it right. Spoiler. And then 25% of the way through the Tigers season already, which feels fast, much like the pitch clock in baseball. It feels like we're flying through this season of Tigers baseball. We'll just touch on any thoughts you have. Some will be more limited than others. Alex, because he hasn't watched the team play yet. But that is a question and storyline in itself that he's been building for about a year now of when will he actually watch this team play baseball. So that is what we have on deck. The only thing I'd like to ask from everyone in the audience is that subscribe to the YouTube channel, please. That's what we're trying to grow. That's what I'm focused on. The shorts on there are doing well. A lot of you already watched the show or come across the account. Just hit subscribe. You don't have to doesn't mean you have to watch every video, turn the notifications off, but just at least subscribe, please, because it helps. And if we get to 1,000 subscribers, we can start making ad money off YouTube, which it would be sweet.
It'd be cool. I mean, we already make a shit ton of money from this, but
Boatload.
we could use more.
Right.
Unreal amount.
Or if you're just a random sponsor, you work in finance for Gillette, and you're like, those look like three guys who shave their face and have a good audience. Just reach out. But also subscribe to the YouTube while you're doing that. Okay, I'd like to see what's happened with everybody on the show since we last recorded.
Well,
Alex,
since Evan last
Evan
recorded.
will be longer, but we won't make him go back that far. We'll just make him this week. But Alex, you're going to start us off as always.
Yeah.
What did you do this week?
Oh. We recorded when? Tuesday.
Tuesday, May 16th, we lost Wembanyama. We got the 5th pick in the draft.
Yes, me and you had a chat.
Oh my gosh, I was so happy about that. It feels so good.
Okay.
Evan's positive. That was a listener question. He's positive.
Wednesday did my golf league, other golf league. Didn't play that great.
My side
partners did not show up, so I had to get a sub. So I have 2 potential partners. Neither could play, so I had to get a sub. That's fine.
Thanks for asking me, dude.
Sorry.
So
I would ask Evan, but he's busy every day. So
no
point to even ask him.
You cannot get on Evan's calendar. It's impossible.
Wednesday?
Yeah, it was Wednesday.
Oh, I had a game Wednesday. Sorry.
I checked your location just in case.
I was in town.
So did that Wednesday. Thursday, nothing. Friday, I decided that I was gonna regrip all my clubs because Grant inspired me last year because he did it. So I got all the stuff, did it. Did all
you did it yourself?
Oh yeah. I got a Vice though, so it was a lot easier than just holding the club and jamming the grip on like you did. I don't know if you know what a Vice clamp is, Grant. Probably not. Okay.
Is there any way to somewhat describe what I'll just look it up. I got
it. Just holds your club in place. It's really simple.
Oh, that's cheating, dude. You should have done it the manly way where you're jamming one end up against the wall and basically bending the club head trying to get these things on.
I had to do that for my putter because I put a Super Stroke. It's a little bigger on it. Yeah, your brain's going all over the place today.
No, I'm just looking at the Vice thing. That looks like a tight grip on the club.
Yeah, holds it in place. So I also put a new putter grip on. So I did that Friday while watching Hemi Butler do Hemi things.
Hemi.
And then Saturday, I played golf with the younger children.
And the new grips.
Yep. Played pretty decent. Not too bad. Started bad, but finished strong. 83.
Oh,
nice.
You lost by 1 stroke to Colby.
No.
I'm sure he shot 115, 120.
100, I think. 101, something like that. Ryan was the worst. Sorry, Ryan.
Ryan was the worst. Dude, he always talks so much crap.
He was telling me, he was like, I might not hit it as far as you, but it'll probably be pretty close.
Dude, this feels like a good group for me to play with. I feel like I
can you would compete.
Cormac, he showed up to play golf.
Did he?
He played well.
95.
Yeah.
What'd he shoot?
88.
Wow. Corey.
He shot 38 on the back. 50, 38.
It was those hot dogs at the turn that got him.
Nope, no hot dogs.
Oh.
And no booze for him. It was weird. So I downed 6 high noons in the car by myself.
Well, yeah, no wonder. He's shooting an 88. Get on the PEDs.
Yeah, I guess he was sober. So did that. And then went to a comedy show Saturday evening that I already mentioned to you guys.
What was the best joke?
Funny. Not appropriate.
Oh,
right.
No.
So it's true,
the whole reason they don't let you record at comedy shows is because they say stuff that would for sure get them canceled.
Yeah, but you guys were involved in the show, though. You guys got called out.
Yeah, Colby did for having ginger hair. Yes,
classic.
Yeah, it's tough. One of my bigger fears is to be at a comedy show and get called out. I just feel like I wouldn't do well with that.
Oh yeah, we were luckily in we were in the second or third row, but all the way to the left. So I really didn't think anyone would look our direction. The first guy up there looked right at us immediately, so that was tough. But the people in the front middle, there's a bunch of couples. They got called out all night long. It's God, that must be miserable.
Yeah.
Just to be made fun of. But overall, it was funny.
Kind of wild that genre, that occupation is one of the last beacons where you can just say whatever you want.
Yeah, it's awesome, really.
It's a nice break from everyday life. I got to mix those in every once in a while. I've never gone to a comedy show. So when I say every once in a while, I mean, I should
one
start.
I've gone to in my life. Well, I saw Kevin Hart. That's a comedy show, but that's kind of big time.
You saw Kevin Hart?
At the Breslin Center.
I thought we were friends. I didn't know this. Oh, I kind of remember this now. Damn, that must have been early on.
Wasn't Kesha
selling out?
Breslin Center too?
Kesha and Lil Uzi Vert were at the Breslin my freshman year.
We had Kesha come to Butler too. She must have just been on a college tour at that point.
Meat.
Well, Butler's a high school, but
Touche.
Anyways.
It's smaller than Carmel High School, which is like 20 minutes north.
So then we were going to go to, because we were in Detroit, ended at 11. So you're going to go to Tin Roof, popular spot.
Yeah.
Line just down the block at 11 p.m.
Well, you know why? Because our bartender was probably working there.
Right.
So
the line was ginormous. So we didn't do that. And we're like, we'll just go to Royal Oak and just park, go somewhere. And
tools.
Couldn't find parking. And everyone was like, you know what? Let's just leave.
There's a lot by B-dubs, though.
Yeah, they're both full and tow trucks in it.
You know why? That's because it's summer. People are out and about with their new fits.
A lot of college kids home. Want to party in Royal Oak, I guess.
Hell yeah, brother.
So, I did that. And then today I...
golfed again.
No, I did. Well, I hit some balls because I had to go to Carl's Golf Land, use my gift card finally.
Oh, yes.
That I got for Christmas. So I got some new golf gloves, 2 of them. Crazy, they're $20 to get the good ones.
Do you have a rain glove in case?
My dad has a set of rain gloves he gave me a long time ago, but even when it rains, I don't use them. They don't work.
I heard, I think it's Dan Rappaport on Foreplay. I'm pretty sure he wears a rain glove all the time because of how sweaty his hands get. And it's just crazy to think about how sweaty could your hands get.
I mean, my hand does sweat really right through it, but I would never wear a rain glove.
And it's black usually, which is just not,
it's
not
super
swag.
lame.
I go raw dog.
I did that all of high school, but now my hands sweat more.
Like Vladimir Guerrero. I would never go raw dog on a baseball bat. Because baseball, never on baseball.
No, that would be terrible.
Because it's weird, because golf, you can never really sting your hands like you can with the
You definitely can if it's cold out.
Not even close to true. There's no way.
You've played golf 6 times in your life. You would have no idea.
6
and
times.
all you know is Hostel Rocket. So
6 times 10.
Those feel good.
Evan, can you sting your hands with a golf swing?
Yes.
Oh, man.
Yeah, see, you're stupid.
That's not what I was looking for, man.
Oh, my bad.
But not as much as a baseball, right?
Correct. Nowhere.
No, not the same.
I don't know why I'm in some alpha argument about this, but it just feels good to know that. How do you sting it with a golf club quickly, though? How?
Just low on the face or way out on the toe.
It, colder
There's
weather.
a million ways
absolutely
to hit it like shit.
Oh, I know that. I've done that. I've found every million way.
No. You haven't even reached how bad you're going to be.
That's not even
The more
true.
you start playing, the worse you're going to get.
Do you think my first round in a couple of weeks will be good?
I think it'll be solid. And then I think you'll just be really terrible after that.
Can I tell you one trust tree, guys, and everyone who's watching? There's something I've been thinking about watching Scotty Scheffler. I might just not worry about as much as my feet moving. I'm not going to try.
I mean, Grant, let's just be completely honest with everybody here. You say this shit every summer.
Oh, okay.
You're like, yeah, I'm just going to do this. Yeah, I'm going to do this. Yeah, I'm going to do this. It's not going to make a huge difference.
A long time, I try to listen to people who are good at golf, and one thing you always hear is keep your feet quiet, keep them still. But for me, I'm not flexible. And also, coming from a baseball background, it feels very unnatural to be stuck in cement when I'm swinging something. So I'm not gonna move my left foot. But if my follow through, if my feet move a little bit more than they would in the past, I'm going to accept that because Scotty Scheffler seems to be just okay doing that.
My left foot moves on my backswing.
That's bad.
Cody,
I've heard.
Feet move all over the place.
All right, so he's
all
Scotty
of our feet
Scheffler.
Move. What are you talking about?
I'm just going to think, be an athlete. Just do what feels smooth. Be athletic over the ball. And if that means my feet move, that means my feet move. Whatever feels comfortable.
You should just do whatever gets the ball in the air consistently.
Well, that would be picking up and throwing it.
In the air and forward. Yeah. And maybe think less.
Or a worm burner.
Stop looking stuff up.
Sometimes a worm burner hybrid out of the rough, that'll get the job done. You just say that'll play.
Yeah, you're just not very good. I just don't know how you're going to be good. It's weird. It's just weird. For an athletic guy that's good at most sports, it's very surprising how bad you are.
I got golf shoes now, so look out.
Right. You're also only going to play this summer like 3 times, so.
Yeah, well, I got to get my clubs first and foremost. There's a checklist I got. Getting my clubs is the first step.
Priority number one.
That helps.
Cleaning gloves, probably. Finding enough golf balls. Making sure I have tees. There's a lot of things that need to happen.
You actually left a bag of tees here.
Give them to me.
You can have them.
Is that all?
Where am I at? I feel like we went on a tangent right there.
He got to today.
Oh, yeah. I was saying when I got at Carl's Golfland. 2 gloves.
Carl.
Box of Pro V1s.
Box of
and a
briefs.
hat. And guess how much that totaled? 2 gloves, 1 box of Pro Vs, and 1 hat.
That's $150.
Evan?
Grant said what, 150?
He gave us a hint earlier, Evan. I don't know if you caught it, but he gave us one price
gift
hint.
card. 116.86.
Okay.
Oddly specific and oddly directly correct.
And he's right.
No. It was 132.
Ooh, Evan and I split it.
I'll take it.
Nice. Yeah, because you said gloves are 20. Pro V1s are ridiculous.
$52.49.
Ridiculous.
And a hat was like 25, maybe 30.
Then he came back and watched golf. What a weekend.
Yeah. Fell asleep on the couch, woke up on hole 10
so
and
nice.
got after it the rest of the day. Cleaned the apartment a little too.
Spring cleaning. That's a common theme of mine. Evan, what happened to you this last week?
Let's see. Last weekend, it was Mother's Day weekend. Enjoyed the Tigers game.
Nice.
That was 2 weeks ago.
No, that was last weekend, Alex.
Last weekend was Mother's Day?
This current weekend.
7 days from today.
Yes, I was at the Tigers.
Time is just moving strangely for me.
Slow down.
Tigers game, enjoyed that. It was nice weather, so...
Took your shirt off.
I did not take my shirt
I
off.
said nice weather.
It was nice weather, but not nice.
My
nice
first.
weather. It was
All
like
right.
low 60s, but sunny. And then this past week, just baseball galore. Busy with
like having this much baseball all the time.
It's more busy, Alex, because we're hosting our tournament. We're hosting our tournament this Memorial Day weekend. And so there's a lot of stuff that has to get involved. And obviously being in charge of the team, you're responsible for a lot of it.
The skipper. People call you Skip.
No.
Yeah, but I'm saying, do you like it?
Oh, I enjoy it. It's all right. I mean, it's
He's a
Do you like
head.
being this busy with baseball?
Be sitting at home all day.
So
Agreed.
you like it or you don't?
I do enjoy it. The JV season's
All of it.
every second that I'm on the baseball field, coaching athletes and being around them, I enjoy it, Alex.
What about the
Evan,
parents?
would Evan love to be Jake boss to the curb and take the job at MSU? Yes, but he's going to work his way up to that. So there's layers to it.
How long has the Big Ten tournament in baseball been a thing?
I don't know.
Alex, why do you ask impossible questions?
Does anybody know?
Probably since
No, but I
when
got
the
Google.
realignment joined.
Because Michigan State had never even made it to play in it.
False, Alex.
Until
We
this
watched
year.
them at your house.
I
They haven't made it
saw
since
it on Twitter.
2018. No, 2018. was the
First
last
Big
time we
Ten
made it.
tournament appearance.
1981.
We won the Big Ten
1981 was when it started.
championship in 2011, so we definitely went that year.
What was there a Big Ten tournament? Well, I'm confused because I
I
saw
said
some tweet about it, and
1981
I
was
was
the
like,
first year it was a tournament.
I agree, but I saw a
That
tweet.
stat
and
is
it was like,
wrong. Wrong.
oh, that's why I was asking because it
Fake
seemed
news.
absurd.
Fake news.
And breaking news: Michael Block is playing next week in the PGA event. He's
Alex,
been special invite.
I can't believe we're on this. This is why podcast lasts 2 hours. You guys have appeared 14 times in the Big Ten tournament.
Yes.
Saw a tweet about it, man. I
I
don't
like
know
I
what
was
to tell
wrong. Call him out.
Did you guys
Might
know
have been
Wisconsin
Barstool.
baseball dropped their program in 1991?
Yep.
you. I did now.
That's wild.
Probably Chris Solari that tweeted that.
That's just unnecessary. You have no idea.
One
Sorry,
more
Evan.
time.
Go ahead.
So just a lot of busy work with baseball, JV, travel. Grant, I know a job that you never want. You never want to be a tournament director.
No.
Never be in charge of a tournament director because those guys are just absolute a-holes. They're in it for a profit, and we got screwed over this past weekend, so I had to cancel. I backed out. Just an absolute
Sorry to
joke
hear
of a
that.
show.
Did you get your money back?
No.
Damn, that's
because they screwed us over so bad. Yep.
It is crazy. To your point, like I had a very baseball involved childhood. A lot of times at Mitchell Park, a lot of times going places, and there always did seem to be tournament drama. And I just can never figure out why such a simple concept something always hit the fan.
It did. Yeah, so I was supposed to hang out with Alex this weekend because I was supposed to have a tournament in Farmington Hills again, but then they joined 2 tournaments, made it a huge mega tournament, and they pushed my age group an hour farther up into Macomb County. And it gave us a day and a half notice with the schedule.
This is like the Super League in soccer.
Yep, with the schedule released on Wednesday, and we were supposed to play Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. 2 hours there, 2 hours back, 4 hours driving, or pay for a hotel room. So we backed out.
Losers.
That's messed up.
Thanks, Alex. Other than that, then JV baseball this past weekend, Saturday. They have one more doubleheader on Thursday, so JV season ends, and then it's into district play for varsity. So high school baseball is winding down, while travel baseball, we're just about halfway through. A lot of games left. So Arrows Classic, if everyone's bored Memorial Day weekend and want to come down to T-Town and watch some travel baseball, give us a shout. Or if you want to ump, give us a shout. Always looking for umpires.
One of the better ways to honor the troops is to watch America's pastime.
Yeah,
I'll be busy.
Oh, sure you will.
Okay, Alex.
I said I'm going to North Carolina.
Damn it, you did say that. My week. Man, I wish I had more. I'll be honest. One thing I can bring, like aired last week, I watched the Conor McGregor documentary.
Already? Didn't that come out like yesterday?
Came out in the middle of the week.
Wow. You did have a slow week.
Calm down, dude.
I did it on a Saturday night. Was relaxing for the weekend. It was about 3 hours because it's 4 parts. It's not like one.
Oh, it's a show type thing.
It's a 4-part documentary. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I don't know. You say what you want about the guy. I understand his wrongdoings. He's a little crazy, but I've always drawn inspiration from McGregor because he came from absolutely nothing in Ireland, was collecting welfare checks before his first fight. And like another thing I respected that you saw throughout the series was he never makes excuses when he loses. It was always like, I got beat. I'm going to lose. I will get better from it. Kind of gruesome. I forgot how his career ended against Poirier this 3rd time when he twisted his ankle and broke it. That was so gruesome. They showed that slow-mo. And
that was gross.
Well, it sucked too because you see like the training camp. Also, training camps for fighting is so wild. The amount of times he would get injured in his own camp was like, there has to be a better way to do this. But I guess you have to prepare for the fight
and not go full blown. Yeah. You have to.
Like he broke his toes before the Khabib fight, like a month before.
I think that happens for like every fighter. They break something right before.
And another reason why I respect him is a lot of fighters will delay the fight or back out, but he prides himself on not doing that unless he absolutely has to. So broke his toes before the Khabib fight and just was like rehabbed it to get so he was okay to fight. But yeah, it was very fascinating. It was basically from 2018 to present day. Insane the amount of money he made. They did a tour of his yacht that he bought.
So he can't fight anymore, right?
I think he's just done. I think he's too old, and I think he's just moved on.
I don't remember him ever like officially. I mean, he retired like 4 times.
Yeah, they show that like so he retired because he wanted to put pressure on the UFC for the Poirier fight because they weren't giving him the fight and he didn't understand why. So he just decided to retire as a FU to them, and then they're like, "No, don't retire. We will make the fight." So he used it as leverage, which was an interesting backstory. But they showed like the raw emotion after the Khabib fight of him walking into the dressing room, like just
I
no
saw
cuts.
That clip on Twitter.
His little boy runs up to him and gives him a hug. It's like sad stuff, like sentimental, like just putting yourselves in the shoes. And you just think like, what if he were a fighter? Like the toll it takes on his wife and his family and all the people around him, that like you just get locked in a cage with another man trying to kill you. And it's like, we're here to support you. It's one of the craziest jobs of all time.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it.
It really is.
I mean, maybe though, because The money is sweet if you're good.
Well, you do have a boxing bag in your room, so you're basically there.
No, it's not in here. It's taken down. It's in the closet.
Oh, man.
Just haven't put it back up yet.
You can catch Alex slipping in a bar fight. He's not sharp.
Not sharp right now. Gonna have to get back into it.
On a brighter note, different note, I guess. Did some spring cleaning this weekend. This is
the number one most boring topic you've ever brought up on this show.
No, there has to be different.
Spring cleaning.
Yeah, when the weather gets warm, you will start looking at your stuff and you're like, oh, I need to throw some of this stuff away.
That gives me crippling anxiety thinking about spring cleaning.
You should try it. It's nice.
No.
I'd like to give a shout out to... Go ahead.
No, sorry.
Sounds like what?
Nothing. Continue.
I'd like to give a shout out to Trader Joe's, the grocery store. Also boring, sure, but I went there for the first time in a long time today, and it's just a great store. If you're ever near one, I encourage you to go. Low prices.
Did you buy a 4-pack of syrup from there?
No. What? Oh. You're saying because there's some in Birmingham?
Yeah, I used it this morning on my Eggo waffles.
I think that was a Christmas gift. Eggo waffles. Those are so gross. I think Evan likes those. I'm in the minority, but I do not like those. Oh yeah, we know Evan loves waffles. Those? I do not. I do donut.
like waffles.
I would rather eat a donut than eat waffles.
Well,
yeah,
that's fine. Gift. Yeah, it's mid syrup to say the least. Give me some Aunt Jemima.
The last thing I thought was interesting is I finally dove into what this AI hype was about, and it's called ChatGPT is the software. You just create. It's free. You just put an email in, so you're in their database. So great. But then you just ask it random prompts, and it's amazing what it spits back out. It's crazy.
I mean, you sent me 4 of them on Saturday morning. I was like, wow, Greg must be having a crazy weekend.
For I think it was Friday. It was after work.
Saturday
I was playing
morning.
Around. No.
Yes.
All right, maybe it was.
Yes, it was.
I was listening to
I was like, what is he doing?
I was listening to the Bill Simmons show, listening to the NBA, and then he had a guy that knows AI on the back end, and they were talking about it. I was like, I need to see what the hype is about. But just for reference, Evan, if you were to go to this software, instead of Google, it's like Google on steroids, I'd say. I just typed this in. I typed in, find me examples of NBA coaches who were successful without any prior head coaching experience. And then it's certainly, here are 5 examples. And it just lists them all off. A mini paragraph about them, like Steve Kerr, Spoelstra,
Nick Nurse,
Brad Stevens, Nick Nurse. So it's kind of like Siri, I guess, but it's more detailed. It is wild that there's a software that could just pull all this information if you ask it something.
Did you learn anything? Life skills?
The only 2 ones I tried were the ones I sent to you, because I was the other one was what are the worst Lions draft picks of all time? And it pretty much got them all right, I would say. It was Charles Rogers, Joey Harrington, Mike Williams, Titus Young.
Not Joey Harrington's fault. Bad offensive line.
Zianza.
No, Evan. He was good
he was pretty good for a little bit.
Eric Ebron.
No, he was good.
Yeah. Jeff Beck.
He had one great season.
I would say he's up there.
TJ Hawkinson. Cade Cunningham. Evan Camus.
Well, that's not true.
Chat Holmgren.
That's just not true. That one
Joey
could
Hauser.
be true. Evan, we had some listener questions that you were not able to answer on last week's show. People worried about your negativity, which...
It's not negativity, it's just facts and reality.
Your facts and reality.
Yeah, it is.
Opinions are not facts and reality.
False flag.
That we were not going to get the first pick and the Spurs were going to get it. That was a fact. And you guys
but that was not on the podcast, Evan.
Yeah, but that was a fact to you guys, and you guys just didn't accept that until actually it happened.
It wasn't actually a fact at the time you said it.
The NBA, it's rigged for any team that tries to tank for the number 1 pick, because the worst team the last 5 years
Evan is going right back to his negativity and dabbing.
How is it negative that the Pistons suck? They suck. They didn't get the first pick. They're going to suck next year.
This is not what we're talking about. We're asking why you've been... There people are asking why you've been negative in the last 2 shows.
I've been... Well, there's topics. What positive talk do I need to talk about?
Well, the question to Evan is, when will Evan be positive on an episode?
Well, can I get some examples of the negative talk?
I'm trying to think because what could I? Okay, so I think if we think back, the
Noah
draft
Kim will not be as good as Painful.
Right.
No,
So I
it
think
can't being
I think
bad. The draft.
Evan
The
will be
draft was
positive about what he wants to be, but I think the stretch of Thorne leaving, Hendon Hooker draft pick, which he did not like, and then just the Pistons are his Tigers for Alex. So like it just kind of was a snowball.
Evan openly wants
row.
the Pistons to be bad. I don't want the Tigers to be bad. It's a little different.
I don't think I want the Pistons to be bad. Just
Does
that
he
they are the
want
worst.
them?
It
NBA
felt
franchise
like last week, Evan, you really wanted them to be bad. You
It made me
openly
feel
cheered
good
when they
to
didn't
know
get the
that we
first
weren't
pick.
getting the first pick. It made me chuckle and laugh because I knew it wasn't going to happen. It made me laugh.
Yeah, that's demented.
I don't know what the word is for that. That's something though. Sicko.
So will you ever be positive on an episode?
I think you're seeing a more positive Evan today.
Yeah, I will be.
He loves
What are we
Michigan
talking about?
debacles, so that'll get him in a chipper mood.
Pistons coach search, he'll be very negative.
Don't care about who's that.
No, that's good for him actually.
Premier League, his team was terrible. I'm sure he'll be negative about
Only
that.
lost 1-0 today to the Champions League. Positive.
Tigers have lost 3 games in a row. Yeah, we'll see.
We haven't.
Two
Only
games
2.
in a row, Alex. Chill out.
Well, Spencer Torkelson's actually heating up. So
I don't follow that closely, so it's good that I know that we're on a losing streak.
This was the last. We had a voicemail about Evan as well, but it's a little expired, but it was just funny, and I appreciate people sending these in, so we'll play it.
Hey, fellas, this is Gene. I just wanted to let you guys know that I literally laughed out loud when Evan made a comparison between Hutch and Lucas Van Ness.
Same guy. Same guy.
Not the same guy.
And secondly, I just want to point out to Evan again that Victor Wembanyama is not Chet Holmgren, because I know he's on the podcast tonight talking some shit. And I just want you guys to know that Victor Wembanyama will be the next Kevin Durant. And hopefully, a Detroit Pistons. Thank you guys. Have a good recording.
So, unfortunately, that did not happen. But your negativity, Evan, is also providing humor for people as well. So I say don't change.
I won't.
You were a hot topic at golf last week. You were.
What was I?
Your takes were a hot topic at golf.
The Van Ness Hutch one is an all-time.
People were furious about that one. Who did your brother?
I mean, I guess so. Like that, we can laugh now, but if Van Ness has like a good rookie year, I guess
great.
Yeah, they are.
Stop it.
I mean, what? He was drafted 14th, right? It's not like he's
Are you playing into this all of a sudden?
No, but they're both Midwestern white dudes that look similar, and if one has 9 sacks in his rookie year, you could be like, yeah, I guess that is Hutchinson.
Okay.
I'm not. I would obviously take Hutchinson.
Comparison.
Okay, right now, if you put them next to each other, I would take Hutchinson. Obviously, I'm just saying it's not like
Sure, Evan was doing work out in Evan's favor,
right.
But Evan's serious about it. I don't think it's a bit.
Evan was doing
it's a bit.
A shock value take, but you can't completely deem it wrong.
It's not a bit. Evan, is it a bit?
I mean, it's just a hot take. We'll see if it pays off in a rookie year.
Just Skip Bayless,
doubling
baby.
down on it. Doubling down.
I'll double down on it.
All right. Another topic near and dear to everyone's heart.
Caleb
Love. No love lost in
What's
Ann
the true
Arbor.
story
No
behind
love.
this? Because I was reading articles today. It was a bunch of Michigan slappies saying, well, he never got accepted because he's not smart enough.
The true story from the Slappies and like unaffiliated CBS reporters is it's admissions, which is why he tweeted out that quote tweet like 2 weeks ago saying I will be playing for Michigan because it wasn't the kids.
That's not true.
Then you got some explaining to do. Then you have a different take than the rest of the country. So what did you hear?
That once he saw the roster finally shape out the way it did, he was like, "This team stinks. I don't want to play for them anymore." Maybe plus his grades are bad. I would assume his grades are probably really good.
I'm going to go with grades because I also have seen other fan bases like the Indianas their message boards are saying that they don't even know if he can get into Indiana. I think the admissions thing is a real deal. I think his credits
he might have very basket weaving type classes.
I just think he didn't have enough credits through 3 years of college, like a shockingly low amount. Is what I truly think. Because I don't think, like, the roster was pretty much already set 2 weeks ago, and he quote tweeted saying, "I am playing for Michigan." And then
Mel Tucker said he's returning to Colorado.
The rule of thumb we have is if there's buzz, someone's leaving, and they say they're staying, they're probably leaving. That's one of the rules of college athletics that we've learned.
It is now deemed true.
And so he's out. The question is this a good thing or bad thing for Michigan, Alex? You answered it right there.
No, it's a bad thing because you guys don't have anybody on your team.
Timing wise, yeah, I think it becomes a bad thing.
You have no one. You have one recruit coming in. One?
George Washington III.
You have one kid coming in.
George Washington's
a transfer that was awful. Or he was not awful, but he wasn't very good.
If you're talking about kid. Okay, I was gonna say if you're gonna say Burnett, I will defend Burnett. I think he's gonna be a dog.
Yeah, you mean he's certainly not gonna be that good.
Like defensive.
Okay. Yeah, I wonder, there's a lot of head coaching jobs available in the NBA. If Juwan gets an interview, he should bounce. This team stinks. Write that down. Evan, and
you coach.
They've got worse.
How long does Juwan keep dealing with this, and how long would you keep dealing with this if you were a coach, Evan?
Well, I would also. You're in it for the long haul, especially when you're crying at the podium saying you're a Michigan man and this is your dream job. So, I mean, you created the monster. You got to fix the monster. And with college basketball, I think it would be an easy fix with the transfer portal, recruiting. One class can save your
The transfer portal for Michigan is different because they can only get Ivy League transfers, basically.
Well, I'm talking about that's this year. There's going to be other transfers in the portal that are actually going to have better grades. It's just you're talking about one bad apple, and then you're going to compare them to the rest. No, there's going to be other recruits that you can get.
Well, they had the same thing happen last year with Terrence Shannon.
Well, two.
I mean, I'm just thinking.
Conte.
Just coincidence. If it happens again next year, Alex, then it'll be a trend.
3 guys in 2 off seasons.
2 transfers.
Like the button I'm hitting is I'm leaving. Goodbye. I don't want to deal with this.
I think you should fix that. Otherwise, Michigan basketball will be like dead for 4 or 5 years, unless you get one of the best college basketball coaches. Because Beilein left because he wasn't putting up.
Care about that.
Beilein left because he wasn't putting up with the recruits leaving early when they weren't supposed to. Now Howard's going to leave because he blew up the roster and I can't fix it.
Evan, were you saying it's going to be bad if he leaves now, or are you saying Michigan's best hope is that he stays and fixes it?
I think he should fix it. I don't know if that's the best hope, but I think he should fix it. You asked me if I was in Juwan Howard's shoes, I would stay there and fix it as best as possible.
I would leave.
I want to know his thoughts. I think this Love one might be like, I'm done with doing this, because he is regarded well in the NBA. We saw, now it might just be because our GM has an obsession with Kevin Ollie, but if Kevin Ollie's getting a head coaching job, Juwan Howard could easily get a head coaching interview in the NBA. He was already getting them.
Assistant.
He was interviewed for the Wolves job before Michigan, but it's a two-way street here, because one person can be, the admissions is doing Juwan dirty by just rejecting these talented kids that would help the program. Or 2, you can look at it, Juwan, this is the third instance it's happened. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. Like, figure it out. Like, you know what admissions is going to say no to. So when Terrence Shannon gets rejected, when Papa Conte can't come to school as a recruit, why are you taking a shot on Caleb Love when you probably know his academics are bad if you get all the information from him? But I could see him just being pissed at this point, being like, this is my last year. I'm done after this, because I'm not dealing with, like, I'm watching all these other teams sell their souls to the devil to get kids into their school, and I'm being told I can't take a kid from North Carolina. That also pissed me off. North Carolina is a very good school. I know they had their scandal with basketball classes, but I'm guessing they cleaned that up, or things would still be happening. Like, how can you not get in from North Carolina, but a kid from Coastal Carolina can become an edge rusher at Michigan? I also just am curious about this double standards of, like, Michigan football versus basketball. Is it different? Because like, why does Coastal Carolina make it in, but North Carolina kid cannot make it in?
It's not. I don't think it's based on the name of the school. I think it's probably Caleb Love took like 6 gym classes, and he didn't have any actual like credits needed to be in undergrad school.
Yeah,
at Michigan,
and I guess
like,
if you learn that
studies, has he graduated yet? That probably is what's holding him back.
Yeah, I think he's been there 3. He was there 3 years.
3 full years.
Yeah, which is a hard time to transfer. I do understand that. Basically, when Michigan comes down to, you have to be a grad transfer, or you have to be like just finished your freshman year. So just like your entry level classes transfer, and then you like take your major at Michigan. But at the end of the day, and then we had like the Dickinson, like that got some headlines of him saying that they wouldn't pay him 6 figures, which I am a fan of. I don't think the kid deserves 6 figures.
I mean, with how much other dudes are making, it was a little surprising that he didn't make that much.
I guess, but like,
I mean, no one really knows what anybody's making. It's also maybe that's.
I guess he did. Maybe I'm being salty, Grant. Hindsight,
he's the best player on your team.
But Elite 8 year, he was not the central focus. He was carried by NBA players around him. They did not make the Final Four. The second year, they underachieved all year, and then he got not lucky, but he rose up finally and made the Sweet 16. But again, we're not hanging banners for that. And then this year, they completely underachieved. So am I upset that he didn't get paid 6 figures and left? No, not at all. So I thought that was also a little tacky to like throw that out there. And
I mean, he's a weird guy. What'd you expect?
Yeah, I guess you're right. If he was classy when he left, it wouldn't have made any sense. So
yeah,
he stayed on brand. Yeah, I don't know. There's still good players out there. That's not the podcast to get into, like who they could get. We'll just react if it happens. But I'm a little hopeful that they can get. They have like 3 open spots, so they have work they can do. But these guys who knows if there's a kid from North Dakota State I like, but can his credits transfer? I don't know. Like, how hard is it to build a program there? It's a different world. And before people say like Beeline did it, different era. Beeline didn't have to deal with all this NIL stuff. I'm not sure how he would have done with it.
Tom Izzo's doing it right now.
Yeah, he's doing it
the right way.
Damn.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I just love the way that you said it, like the right way.
Got to get my chips in sometimes.
But also, you can say the same thing. It just depends on the kids. Like, I thought we were doing it the right way when we booked the top 3 recruiting class, and it just turned out those kids didn't have that dog in them, and then they all leave after 1 year. And jump to the NBA and get drafted. Good for them, but they didn't make an impact on the team that much in college. And then you looking around like, oh, everybody left, and we were supposed to have a great class, and we didn't get anything from it. So it can.
That's why you have to recruit good character guys on top of good skills.
George Washington III, baby, good character guy. All right, on the other side of the aisle in Ann Arbor, bad news. Which is exciting. You guys get to learn about this. Let me see if I can pull up. The tweets in reference. So basically, long story short, his real name is Glenn Schembechler. Goes by Shemy, Shemy, which is a red flag there. Background: the name might sound familiar when we did our Bo Schembechler scandal story. Shemy was Bo's legitimate son, who called the stepbrother a liar. The stepbrother was the one saying that Bo like said, "Shut your mouth," or like, "I'll beat you up if you tell about Dr. Anderson," or whatever, however the story went. I should get my facts straight, but we all know it was a very bad situation. And it still leaves a lot of Michigan fans rubbed the wrong way that the statue's still up and nothing really has happened from it. So it's not good overall, but just some background on Shemy. He came to Bo's defense instantly and said, no, the stepbrother is an absolute liar. So background on him. He gets hired. Michigan's assistant of football recruiting, which he's an assistant, but still assistant director of football recruiting at a team that just made the playoffs. Is a pretty big job, I would say. Probably making a handsome amount of money. I don't know if it's 6 figures there or anything like that, but pretty solid money, I would say. So as the internet works, people dive through his likes on his Twitter account and they see a lot of messed up things. They're like, oh, this guy seems to be a little unhinged. Now, a lot of them were more Republican based, which is fine. I mean, everyone gets into politics how they want, but there was a few that crossed over from just being Republican pro-Trump into racial tones. And again, this isn't him tweeting it. This is him liking tweet about it. Let me see if I can find the actual tweet in reference. So it's kind of hard to see, but ignore the little the quip from Sheehan here. But you can
I did see this, but
guy.
I didn't put any much thought into it behind it. I thought it was just trolls or whatnot. It didn't really
it's hard to
connect
see
the dots to it.
Can you click each picture, please?
No, because it's like this is. I can read it though because I can see it better. But the gist is like you probably would need to know more context of like what the conversation was above. But you can see this mercurial guy says, talking to someone, you should practice reading and comprehension. And yes, slavery and Jim Crow forced the black family to strive and create businesses and cultivate a basis of wealth for themselves and their families, as opposed to now he was saying like they get a reliance of handouts that make them soft. So he's trying to state what he thinks are facts, saying that somehow slavery and Jim Crow helped black people become tougher and like not deal with welfare. Say just a weird thing to be liking. Pretty hard and fast in history that Jim Crow laws were awful and there was nothing good about them. So pretty common sense there. And then this one on the right is tough to see, but it's basically someone saying another nonsensical tweet from the leader of the House minority, which I believe the leader of the House minority is black. And there's a bunch of black people around a campfire that makes them look very uncivilized. So some of Shemy's likes, and you can imagine, first of all, this is just bad to be doing in general. No matter what line of life you're in, we're in 2023. Racism, there's no place for it anymore. But you have to think on top of that you're stepping into a sport where there is a lot of black athletes and a lot of black coaches and people you work with every day. And as the statements from Jim and Ward said, like people obviously saw this and were pissed off. Like imagine anyone on the team is just like, yeah, we're bringing this guy in to be our assistant AD of recruiting. And then this guy, hypothetically, if he's going into people's living rooms trying to pitch them to Michigan with a black family, the parents would be like, hey, what's this about? Like you liking these tweets? Explain that. Just a total idiotic move by this guy, and also total idiotic move by the department itself. Like any HR company worth anything would have checked this before. And to make matters worse, when this came out over the weekend, there's an instant solution was instead of just addressing it or getting rid of them, then they tried to have, I don't know, there was jokes that they made an intern do it, which you can picture over the weekend on Saturday or Friday, spend their day scrubbing this guy's likes. I think someone did the math and like he had 2,000 less likes after a day. So they had someone go in and scrub a bunch of controversial stuff probably that he was liking because he's probably a bad guy. I mean, he's a bad guy. I'm trying to, I guess I say probably just to cover us, but like you can probably gather if this guy's liking this, he's probably a little unhinged. He's probably lost his mind on the far right of our society and probably not a great guy. And some other things that just annoy me about this in general, besides like the nepotism angle, I was very curious about what was going on. Why did this guy even get brought into the program anyways? Because if you guys recall, Michigan's doing very well with recruiting. I found it surprising that they needed to go out and hire assistant director. Anyways, we go to Shemy Schembechler's LinkedIn page. Yes, LinkedIn page. And we'll start from the last decade, okay? Because he had scouting experience in the NFL for the then Redskins, now Commanders, for like 12 years before this. Again, not the greatest franchise. So he was a college scouting consultant for 10 months with the Seahawks from 2012 to 2013. So didn't last long. Then he was the director of strategic recruiting for Title Boxing Club for a year and 7 months. Okay, so he's out of football. He's at a boxing club. Then he starts his own GES advisory company for 8 years, which is just public speaking motivational for colleges and high school athletes. Okay. Cool. GAS advisory company. Then he's a consultant for power play strategies. Don't know what that is, but it's not football. And then he gets back into scouting. Wonder how that happened. Maybe the name for the Oakland Raiders for 3 years and 11 months, and then gets fired from that job. And then we decide to hire him for this job. So it's not like this guy was the hottest thing in football. Okay. And then you'll see this tweet made me laugh out loud from a reporter, Jason Lock-Confora. He didn't really hold any punches with it as it loads here. There it is. From someone whose opinion I think very highly from an NFL front office, quote, Shemy was hands down one of the dumbest people I've ever worked with. And that was before I knew anything about those tweets. That about sums it up. Nepotism sucks. I mean, this guy has like 500,000 followers, NFL reporter. I don't think he's making this up. It just aggravates me so much as a Michigan fan. One, it's embarrassing because then like when people ask you, so what's going on with Michigan? I mean, this made national headlines. This was covered by Fox News, CBS, like a bunch of places because it touches that spicy politics topic. But it's just embarrassing. And also it's so risky to try to do something like this when you have the national title in your sights. Like this is supposed to be one of the best years in Michigan football coming up. And you're just going to be blinded. Obviously Harbaugh. I'm just going to hire Schembechler, who is a bad guy. And frankly, according to people, not that smart in football. So all in all, just one of the dumber situations I've seen this football team do, which has had a lot of dumb situations over the last calendar year. And it's getting frustrating. And I just have to keep reminding myself as a fan that I'm just going to do my best just to support the athletes on this team that are good people like the Blake Corums and McCarthy's of the world and try to ignore this BS that happens because of some of the people that are higher up in that university. That's really my thoughts on that. It is, Alex. It's ridiculous. Like knowing all that background I gave you, it's like how do you not catch that? Two, we know how it happens. It's Harbaugh loves the Schembechlers and he's like, I'll hire him. It's probably as simple as it went. And no one there was like, let's look at his tweets first. And then you have this BS. And I know people were annoyed that they said he resigned instead of fired. I mean, that's just trying to do him a solid. Like they fired him. Like they just told him you need to leave. And he resigned. He would not resign. He probably thinks he did nothing wrong still, honestly. So, I don't know. Like I said, annoying, embarrassing as a fan, just gross. Like I just pray when football is happening for that team because outside of that in the offseason, everything is a clown show. Everything that's gone on.
Yeah.
We still don't know what's happened with Matt Weiss. I still would love to know what that was about.
Well, you won't because the Detroit media likes to not report things about Michigan University. Or the University of Michigan.
Almost like they're a wall of blue or something?
They're
like
pieces of shit.
For that?
Yeah. I mean, it's true. It's a joke.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I didn't know if you guys had any other thoughts on the matter, but after learning,
I think you summed it up well. Joke. All of that was. That's
a clown show added to.
How can you be a elite program and then run it the way they do? It just doesn't make any sense. They're lucky they're good at football because they would be a massive dumpster fire if not.
It almost made me be like, how are they winning on field so much with all this clown?
Makes no sense. I don't know how they are.
I'm a little worried though. This is too in the weeds for this show, but I sent you guys the article about Biff Poggi and the impact he had on like corralling Harbaugh. Well, he's gone. He's in Charlotte now, so I think things could get wonky in that football office with not like him corralling Harbaugh and like what he wants to do. So
love my guy Biff.
Love Biff. Don't love Shemy. Glad he's away from the program. And then also this caused a big divide because there's obviously some bad apples in every fan base. And they were like, oh, why is Shemy fired? This is cancel culture. It goes a little bit deeper than just politics when it becomes racial. And that's when you just like.
And he's also the dumbest person in sports.
Yep. And it's not like a beautiful phrase
for the job anyways.
Yes, that's that.
Anybody with a nickname Shemy is a moron.
That's tough.
Sorry to all the Shemys out there.
There can't be many, right?
I can't imagine there's any.
Especially spelled just like that.
Shemy.
Shemy Gillen.
Joke.
Shemy Cadmus. Let's talk to you about the Pistons coaching.
Shemy Lethal Tickle Cadmus.
Update. As I try to pull this tweet up, what do you guys know? Have you guys seen anything about the latest updates?
I honestly will say, man, since the Pistons are like almost dead to me, I don't care about it. I don't look for it. I don't.
They just need to be all the way dead. Boycott them if you're going to do this.
No, they're not dead because Cade Cunningham's elite. Jaden Ivey's elite.
Wow, he's a bust by your standards.
They're not a bust. He's not a bust.
It's just your bust definition.
He's not my bust definition.
What Cade Cunningham is.
Evan Wyatt called Cade a bust.
Wyatt.
I'm not going to read the whole thing out loud, but basically the gist was...
You already sent us this one.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So I'm just pulling it up for the show. Yeah, I sent it to you guys. I said, what a clown show. So, yeah, the gist of this is that the three candidates, Lee, Collins, and Ali, met with Goris that week in LA before the lottery. And it says, quote, he left none of them. They left Goris without a standout impression. Basically saying he just didn't like any of the three candidates. So now we have this power struggle in the front office that Weaver had his guys, and Goris was like, these guys stink. He made it. Maybe he didn't say it like that. This just seems kind of like another clown show because you had your three finalists very publicly. No one's hired yet. The lottery has come and gone. We're still waiting here as a bunch of jobs are open, a bunch of candidates are open, and people are moving. And we were one of the first teams to fire our coach, and we still are coachless. And we have a very young squad that probably is like sitting there during the offseason like, oh, I wonder, like, you know, what kind of drills our coach wants us to be working on. I know NBA is different. You just work with your own trainers.
Yeah, probably not.
I'm reaching. But I just think it helps an organization know who their leader is and like know maybe what their offense is like, what they demand of their players. I think getting a coach as soon as possible, once you've done the initial research, is beneficial. And we're just dragging our feet. And I don't know what's going to happen now. But then there also was the report that if we had gotten Wembanyama, we were going to go all in on Monty Williams. I don't fully understand that. I don't know why we can't just go all in now. I don't know what went. Maybe Monty doesn't want the Pistons unless they had Wembanyama. I'm also confused by that.
We have to think about who wants to really be in Detroit.
I guess my question is to you guys. Where does it go from here if those candidates didn't impress Goris? What do you think happens from here?
I think Goris is probably looking for someone a little more name brand, bigger fish in the sea, somebody with a lot more experience, somebody he thinks is like, oh, he's done it before and he's going to do it here.
John Beeline.
But
let's bring in another Dwayne Casey.
Correct. So
I hope that's not
Stan
true.
Van. Hooray.
Mark Jackson.
Oh, please.
JJ Redick.
No.
You see, he interviewed?
Yeah. And I've
for
seen
a job.
His takes are wild these days. It's just all over the spectrum. He's turning himself into Skip Bayless.
Alex, what's the feeling you get? Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here?
Jay Wright. That's where you go. That's where you go.
Talk to me nice. Keep talking.
You bundle up that bag of money you've been saving and you just throw it at him. Make him say no.
And then we take Cam Whitmore.
And then we take Cam Whitmore.
But he recruited.
But knows him, obviously.
Knows him. Probably best friends. Probably have each other's numbers.
You trade for Sadiq and you bring him back, and then you run it up Villanova style and win the title.
You lost me with the Sadiq bit.
I just said that because he went to Villanova.
And we take Mikal Bridges and Jalen Brunson. I was just going to say,
Jalen Brunson has to be a Piston
Dante DiVincenzo, and we just recreate the team that beat Michigan.
We don't need Dante.
The Pistons could definitely use Dante off their bench.
We should bring in Draymond with Dante in a trade package.
Yes.
I think Draymond could get our young guys to really work together.
Yeah. No, yeah, you're right.
Definitely help our defense.
I keep getting worried, though, like seeing...
Didn't punch someone in the face.
And then like admitting we would have won the title if I didn't punch Jordan Poole in the face. But to be fair, that's champagne problems. I'd love to lose.
He could punch anybody in the mouth if we win a championship.
Not Cade. You can't punch Cade.
Well, I don't think he would. I think Jordan Poole is like kind of makes sense why he'd get punched. Also, Michigan State rivalry for those two, so it's even more not surprising. I don't think he would punch Cade or Jaden
would go after Draymond. I think Jay and I would go after Draymond.
I don't think we have guys on our team that would take a punch well. Like, our team is angry. Isaiah Stewart would go berserk if Draymond punched him.
Yeah, there actually would be no one on the team that could break that up if him and Draymond got into it.
So that would probably be a violent practice battle often. If I'm just imagining those two going at it, they would probably...
actually, Durant could break it up. He's a man-child.
He's 18.
19 now, I think.
Guys, don't fight. I got to go to prom.
Maybe 20. I don't know where it goes. I love the idea of Jay Wright, but I don't know if it's like... It doesn't feel at this point, if we hire one of those three guys that Goris doesn't like, that there's something weird going on if it's public like this.
Well, I think Goris just sucks at his job.
Yes.
Okay.
I agree. He's a terrible owner.
His track record is horrendous.
I would say at this point, I'd rather Weaver get to make the decision. But obviously, it seems like you got.
Well, it sounds like Weaver made a decision, sent him to LA to meet with Tom, and Tom was like, "No, thank you."
How bad do you think
Eric Spoelstra?
How bad were the interviews?
Get him? I can't imagine they were that bad. I mean,
right?
Tom Gores was
what
probably
could you
hammered.
say? What could you say that's didn't stand out?
Yeah, you said all the right things, but not enough. It just wasn't cool. You didn't do a cool presentation. You didn't wear a purple suit. What does he want from these people?
Dance for me.
So I don't know. It's a clown.
You're
clown
still
show.
You still Ali, Alex?
I mean, I've rethought about it. I guess
that graphic.
When you tweeted
got
that,
I was
like, oh, wow, really put me out there.
Some guys liked it though. You had 2 defenders, I think.
I had some people that were like, yeah, I'm cool with it. I guess I would just like to clarify my perspective was if it was those 3 available, I was choosing him. I would take a different guy potentially over him if they were to become available. I would take Jay Wright first.
I like Jay, and I also like that Heat assistant that I just obsessed with over the playoffs because he's always
the Heat coaching staff. I think I would take any of them.
Udonis Haslem.
No. He's on the team. He has a jersey.
Just said to make sure you guys were listening.
He plays.
He's retiring though. This is it.
Can we just pay Eric Spoelstra $2 billion to be our head coach?
No,
please.
I heard a story. This again. From that same Bill Simmons show.
Best coach in the NBA.
How the Heat operate, and Pat Riley talk about a guy that you want in charge of your organization.
They also have, basically 2 head coaches.
He had a situation, I don't know what year it was, but there were star players on the team coming into Pat's office saying you need to fire Spoelstra. I think this is before Spoelstra was highly regarded. And he said, all right, I'll meet everyone down in the locker room in 15 minutes. He had everyone line up against the wall and said, don't you ever come to my office and tell me to fire the coach ever again.
That's awesome.
We don't have that here. And we don't have anything like that.
And they just ride. And also think about just a year ago. Remember that viral clip of Spo and Jimmy Butler almost getting in a fight on the bench, and everyone's like, "Oh, Heat coach."
I think Jimmy's just hard to.
No, that's just they just call it like it is. They're just a bunch of dogs.
It's awesome. In that organization. They're the most fun team to watch. I think I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Dude, I love watching
them. They all respect them so they can jaw at each other. Gritty. They can yell back. It's not just a one-way communication.
Gritty dogs. Can we just be gritty dogs like that? They don't even have players that are that good.
Oh, Alex, we saw
Butler. Butler's
Jimmy Butler's
Shemy is absurd.
Which is
really good.
NBA playoffs. He's Michael Jordan's kid, and I think.
Oh, is that a rumor?
Yeah, I didn't dive deep like I said
rumor.
I would.
Yes, that's
real. People have done
real.
The math that Michael Jordan was in Texas 9 months before Jimmy Butler was born in Texas. There's real smoke.
It's more deep than that.
Is there a picture with Jimmy and his dad ever? What's the deal with Jimmy and his dad?
No, there's
more questions. I haven't started there.
He was raised by a single mom.
That would be crazy. Excuse my French, but that would be the most insane story of all time if that was true.
Well, no, Sam Block.
Stop.
His name's not Sam.
His name's Michael. Sam Block's a Michigan slappy beat reporter. There's Michael Block, bro.
Oh, man, that's why I'm getting it wrong.
It's embarrassing.
I
want to go into the Reddit thread about Jimmy Butler now.
This saying it's a rumor, but he was born in Houston in 1989 to Jimmy Butler II and Londa Butler.
First thing I searched, Jimmy Butler, and it comes up, who is Jimmy Butler's dad? Michael Jordan.
It's a real thing, Alex.
MJ's abandoned son? Jimmy Butler.
They look the exact same, and their game is the same, and they're both dogs.
Oh my god, there's just a gajillion YouTube videos about this conspiracy. This is a real thing.
Yeah,
I didn't know this. This is great.
I found how to. If you ever have to pass some time in the near future, and you know what you're doing, On the other side, so we have them up 2-0. They're playing tonight, right now, actually. Must win for the Celtics tonight. On the other side, the Nuggets. I know it's not over, but it's over.
Oh, it's over.
No team's ever come back from 3-0. That was an absolute exclamation
Glad
of a
I didn't
win.
see it.
Jokic is unbelievable, dude. I'm using the word, Alex. I'm using the word. Why?
Well, okay, he doesn't.
Okay.
It's just
So,
he
nice
does
backpedal.
everything that every superstar does. He complains about stuff and does all this stuff. And then I just go into my phone after not being on it for an hour, and I have 65 messages from Evan and Cody saying, la bitch ass, la dummy, la blah, blah, blah. And it's like, dude, every superstar complains and whines. And I just don't get why we held this stupid double
I'm not saying
standard
he's complaining
for
and whining.
just
It's
LeBron.
It's his nicknames.
La excuses, Evan. I think that was one of them.
I didn't write that one.
There's levels, though, Alex.
But, like, I watch Jokic do this same thing, throw his hands in the air and flip out about every call. And Jimmy Butler does it, too.
I don't think
star
Jokic does
it.
it as much. I don't think he does it as much as LeBron.
Please, Grant. Open your
Please.
eyes. Get your bias out. LeBron's not going to win the series, so you don't
Open
have
your
to.
eyes.
And yes, LeBron missed a dunk and it sucked, and he did not have a very good game. But it's not. Everyone just acted like he was now the worst player in the league because he had a not so great game. Like, dude,
No, it's because, like Michael Malone said, and again, it's our choice
just
to
why does
consume
everyone
the media.
hate LeBron so much? I don't understand.
It's our choice to consume the media the way we do, but it's just annoying when we have one of the best basketball players I've ever seen playing right now in his peak MVP form, but the whole story every day is like, can the Lakers do this? Austin
Yes,
Reeves this,
I agree.
LeBron AD this.
That
it's like,
stuff is annoying.
maybe let's
But
just
why
talk
does
about how
everyone hate LeBron?
sick.
Because he's the center.
Well,
because he asked
Yeah,
for
he's
it.
just-
it's not him.
He asked
No,
for it. He does shit to ask
please,
for it.
Evan. Please.
he's just a lie. He's just a sociopathic liar, Alex. That's why I do not like him. He had a
just not
because
true.
Jokic doesn't go into press conferences and be like, I never flop, and no team I've ever been on never flops. Like LeBron said that a week ago, and
You're
then
gonna
went
hold on to
flying.
that for the rest of your life.
Well, that's the most recent example, and I'm not gonna quick recall in memory. But LeBron saying, "I read The Godfather. I love the Godfather books." And would always carry them into his games, was asked, what's your favorite scene? Couldn't name one because he doesn't read the books. He just lies to do what he thinks is cool. And you can see right through it, and it's annoying. And I wish he would just accept that.
It's just annoying to go on Twitter and LeBron makes a mistake. And let's just keep in mind, every single basketball player in the history of basketball makes a mistake every stinking game. Every game. And any single little mistake LeBron makes, this first thing I go on Twitter and it's just like a gajillion LeBron tweets, like just a billion of them.
The dunk was a different level because he was
And
trying
that
to
was
showboat.
just a whole nother thing. Just everyone flipping out about
Think
it.
about that. People gave Jordan Poole so much crap when he tried to take the game-winning shot and airballed, or when
Because
Swaggy
Jordan Poole
P
sucks.
Remember Swaggy P?
Swaggy P
That-
sucks. Those are
but that
bad
gift-
basketball players.
I'm just saying, when a basketball player tries to do something cocky and they mess it up, that is what the internet is for, to make fun of. And that was a prime example of it. Just because you're the second best player of all time does not exclude you from getting made fun of for trying to
LeBron
windmill a
misses
duck
that layup at the end.
and airballs it.
He didn't airball. It hit the backboard.
He airballed that layup.
Either way, it wasn't like he just missed a wide open layup. He was contested and went under the hoop, and everyone acted like they lost the game by that. They were down 4 with 20 seconds left.
Could have made it too.
It's just
And he missed the- and he
double
missed that
standard's
dunk.
so stupid. Like, why
Game
are
would've
people
been tied.
shitting on Jason Tatum right now for being down 0-2 to an 8 seed?
Because he doesn't sociopathically lie in the media.
He doesn't.
Disappears.
Doesn't
in
have the
games.
chosen one tattooed on his back.
People trash talk Tatum all the time, but LeBron gets clicks because that's what everyone wants to talk about. That's just the status he's on. Tatum does get made fun of a lot.
I don't see it. I just
You're
see
not-
other
you're
day,
not in
you
Boston
guys
media.
doing your love fest for him.
I forget who said it, but it was good. It was like Tatum is the CJ Stroud of the NBA. Like, great stats and everything, just can't win the big one. And so yeah, he gets called out. But
I
you
just
choose not to
think
see
it's
it.
crazy the amount of like anger towards the dude. I just don't get it. And it's
not.
you tried to say to me, it was like, oh, it's just really our friends hate LeBron. No, that dunk confirmed it. 80% of everybody hates LeBron.
Yeah, he sucks.
It's crazy.
But it's not like people. You're saying they were saying F LeBron. It's more laughing. Like, can you believe he did this?
It's not just that play specifically. It's just like everyone just like openly roots for LeBron to lose.
But
Correct.
there's so many that love him. There's so many
I don't
that love
see
him.
it. I don't see the love. Other than ESPN maybe loves him, but that's not my problem.
Well, like pretty much every professional athlete loves him. So they always like Bron's the best.
Well, they should.
I love Bron
because he's really good.
Well, I think they should have a competitive rivalry with him because they're trying to beat him.
Well, that didn't work out for Dylan Brooks.
No, because he's an idiot.
Yeah, he'll be a Piston. Move on. That's it. That's all. Just can't believe the hate. Yes, Jokic is a good player. The Nuggets are like kind of a boring team to watch, but they're very good.
But at least for me, it doesn't come from a place of like hate. It's more just like I want to see him lose.
There's just so much absurd anger carried towards LeBron. I watched Evan and Cody make fun of him for 2 days in a row.
But that's not like when they're sitting there, they're not sitting there pissed off. It's more like funny.
Yes.
Yeah, those are like funny trolls. But like the fact that people did that for multiple days, I couldn't believe we were still doing it.
Well, no, because it was when the game was happening because they play every other day.
Just crazy. The one was the day after, and it was like 7 a.m. and I woke up and looked at my phone. There's like 50 texts from Evan and Wilkins making fun of LeBron.
I think you're just naive to NBA Twitter. And NBA Twitter is a crazy beast. So is the NFL. But like when the Pistons get good, people are going to be making fun of Cade so much if he has a bad game. It's just that's how it works.
I know how that works. I just
then you need to get over it. You're complaining like LeBron right now.
Yeah, everyone complains, Evan. That's my
People
point. My point is all these players do this, and then we just act like LeBron's the only one. And the whole national media loves LeBron thing. I watched a million national pundits tweet hate things about LeBron when he messed up.
They're going to say Lade Lunningham to hold this L. I mean, they're just going to make fun of our people.
That wasn't good.
I know. I couldn't think of anything good.
It's fine. Jimmy Butler, I can root for him. But everyone's rooting for him. It's not as cool. But Cade
Cunningham can't win. The same things are going to happen, dude. It's just that's
that's
NBA
Evan, they
Twitter.
won't happen because we will never be good enough for that to happen.
That could be better for
Evan, the lights turn off on you?
I haven't turned the lights on. Don't feel like it.
NHL wise, I don't know if you have anything, Evan. I'll be honest, I haven't been watching.
Some great hockey, Grant. Come on.
I see
saw
OT
3
every
goals
night.
while Evan was on the shitter. Fun fact.
That was 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, that's about the
Great
extent.
hockey. As once again, Grant, all you have to do is get in the playoffs and anybody can win. Florida Alex, they were the 8th seed. They were the last team in. Now they're about to win the Stanley Cup.
Whoa. We're only in the Western Conference Finals, aren't we?
And there's 4 teams left and they're up 2-0 in the Eastern Conference Finals with home ice advantage, Alex. So,
Yeah, so they still have to win the Stanley Cup Finals. They still have to win another series.
correct. But they're favorites right now. They're playing the best hockey. They're playing the best puck.
This would be Florida and Vegas projected right now.
Yep.
Is that where Matthew Tkachuk is?
Yep.
Good player.
Pretty underwhelming crop of teams remain. I think that's why, like from star perspective, but that also, like you said, Evan, it's good for the Red Wings positivity because no offense to your guy, but we don't really have a true star in terms of league wide like star effect, but that's okay because a lot of the other teams do not. So we should be optimistic at how this is played out, where if we just have a crop of good players, we can make it to the finals. And then my other NHL question was, I don't think it gets talked about enough. Is being an expansion team a cheat code? Should we just like stay in
expansion
Detroit?
teams historically do well.
In
like,
hockey,
why? It makes no sense.
Because when they do their draft, they get a bunch of like middle, above average players. They don't have a bunch of shitty players or a bunch of really great players. They just have a bunch of like pretty solid players. Then you bring in 2 free agents, and then boom, you're really good.
It just feels like this is a hockey only thing that's happening. Like we've seen it now. Vegas is about to be back in the finals, and the Kraken were in the last round, and they just started too. This is crazy.
Kraken did suck for 1 year, but they sucked for 1 year, got a high draft pick for 2 years in a row. They're already up.
They
in
got
the
Bernier,
NHL.
Michigan man.
They created their foundation of what they wanted during the expansion draft to be in defensive oriented. That way they know they could draft and free agents be offensive side. So it works out.
I mean, the whole point of it is supposed to make them competitive right away.
In fairness, Grant, the West is a little easier than the East.
Yes, I have.
We
heard
used to
that.
be in the West.
And when I say a little easy, I mean extremely easier than the East.
Yeah, I mean, the East had the best playoff team of all time, and they lost in the first round. So tough to win games of our season with them.
People forget.
Speaking of team best of all time, quick plug for Manchester City, win the Premier League again. 3 years in a row. Truly historic things that we're watching.
Grant, is the Champions League final next week?
No.
June 10th.
Yeah, it's in a couple of weeks.
Holy buckets, they got some time off. Okay. June
Yeah, they
10th.
wait a long time.
First who?
Really would like Man City to lose.
First who?
That's so messed up.
It's not
Inter
your
Milan.
fault, Grant. It's
Inter
Cody
Milan.
Wilkins' fault.
Oh, he was just on the podcast.
ruined that franchise for me.
Guess Cody.
Oh.
Why?
First who?
He's
Because
just anytime anything happens, he just refers to my franchise as dog shit. And yeah, we know.
Could be worse, Alex. You could be Chelsea.
No one's been making fun of Chelsea all year.
Whoa,
even though they
whoa.
are horrendous. Sorry, but
Well, I can't because Evan, I was thinking about this today as you probably didn't see we played our B team today because we won the league yesterday.
you guys were all
Arsenal
celebrating.
lost. We played all our
did you guys
backups.
play together? Play each other today?
Yes. But
Yeah,
we
we played
have
all
like
our
3 or
backups
4
and we
people
won.
injured. We have people guys that are sitting
Okay.
out because they are
Fair.
going to leave.
So you were about to double shit on Evan right there, Grant?
He could
Come
have.
on,
He
dude.
should have.
Win
It
with
was
some
well
pride.
deserved. I almost
No,
fired out a
I
tweet
was-
saying we were going to win today, but I just really not making it.
I was crapping on today, but I don't give Evan crap because again, thinking I cannot believe Manchester City lost that Champions League game. Like looking at where the two programs have gone since that moment, that was just such
Chelsea's had 3 coaches since then.
rabbit's foot Chelsea win 1-0.
Well,
Like
defense wins. That was defense all
it'll
year.
haunt me
crazy.
till the end of my life. De Bruyne gets
Who do you guys
hurt.
play?
Inter Milan.
Oh.
Yeah.
You guys probably
I
won
read
4-0.
they have like one of the best defenses in the world, which is what you would need to beat Man City. But like they're
we
like
beaten
plus
you guys. Remember, we beat
they're
you
like-
this year.
They're like plus 550 to win. It makes me uncomfortable how heavy favorite
Huge favorites.
Man City is.
They played
Yeah.
AC Milan.
Yep. It was all
That's who we
talent.
lost to.
Yeah, it was a crazy
We
game
should
from what I
have
saw
beat
because
them.
those are bitter rivals in Italy, so the crowds were on edge. But anyways,
They
I'm just
beat
enjoying this
nobody.
dynasty run as much
Looking
as I
at their
can.
run.
Well, it's
is
going to
a
feel
joke.
good, Grant. Chelsea was the last EPL team to win the Champions League, so
And it'll stay that way.
I hope
I
not.
don't
because that
think
would be
so.
so
Alex. They're
devastating.
a wagon.
You
this
guys
year.
are screwed because Tottenham's about to get a manager that's going to be good. The slot machine.
And Harry Kane's going to leave.
What's the slot machine?
That's his nickname, the slot machine. You guys
Slop
are
or
fucked.
slot?
Slot.
Oh,
Slot machine.
I thought you were saying
Who is
slop. I was going to say
Arnie
that is
Slot.
Not a good nickname.
He just won.
It'd be cool. It'd be
a
cool
league.
if both your guys' teams are back towards the top 4. It'd make the games more exciting. This year, I mean, it doesn't get old winning the league, but it was much less
Probably
exciting this
boring,
year
though.
because we won on a loss because Arsenal just choked so bad.
They lost to Nottingham Forest.
But we also did not lose. I think we would have caught them anyways. We just turned on
Hey,
the
Nottingham
gas at
Forest,
one
good
point.
team. Good teams lose to those teams.
Uh,
Chelsea lost them at the beginning.
What?
of the year.
Arnie Slot's team, Feyenoord.
It sounds like made up words.
Well, they just won a huge league. They just won the top Dutch league.
Sick.
Dutch.
I don't know. Either way, they're like their
Yeah.
owner denied us and says that they won't accept a bid for us to take him.
Yeah, they
soccer
will. The
drama's
Dutch
the
league.
worst.
Dude, you can come with a bunch of huge bag of money, be like, we're taking this guy.
Arnie Slot hasn't lost a game this year in his league. That's crazy.
He's going to lose his first
I can't
4 games
deal.
in EPL
Dude.
and then get fired.
Probably that's how crazy soccer is.
Oh, I did want to say something because that started with the Cody thing. If I ever sat down with Cody one-on-one and, maybe over some beverages, I'd be like, Cody, we are Man City and we're above Tottenham. Like, we don't need to,
that's me.
take pot shots at Alex. Like, we don't need to continually do that because they're so
Every
beneath us.
single weekend.
But at the same time, I will not gatekeep how people are fans. And if that's what he enjoys, fine. I just want you to know I think so lowly of Tottenham that I do not take those shots for that reason.
Well, thanks.
You're welcome.
Because I didn't watch the game Saturday, Wilkins, and I didn't need to hear your bullshit about how we lost.
What's crazy is before I went to bed, I was just checking the score app to see what was on the next day for EPL and see if we played. And I saw you guys were playing Brentford, and I could, you know how it shows you the
we almost
win-loss.
lost to them the first time, I think, or we did.
You know how it shows you the win-loss, like recent form?
Yeah, it's really bad.
I saw Brentford had been playing well, but they were like plus 400. And I almost texted the group and was like, Brentford's live tomorrow. But I knew
didn't,
that it was plus 400. And then I woke up and they won 3-1.
It was like, 2-1 and they scored in the 88th. So
always classic soccer. Speaking of teams that I guess have been underwhelming, the Tigers, they are 20-24 right now, which is good for recent years. 3.5 games back of the division. So realistically, if you take the record aside, they're right there in the division hunt. They're 6 back of the wild card.
Not going to win.
So our division is bad. Not wild card. Have to go to division. Evan is right. We are very close to getting Alex to watch because we need to be 500 or better.
Took a step back this weekend, gents.
Yeah, we did.
Yes.
Candyman got us for a home run.
And I was really getting excited too. I was actually gearing up for what I was going to do, how I was going to watch, how I was going to enjoy myself. And now it looks like it might not happen this season.
How were you going to enjoy yourself?
I hadn't decided.
Oh.
Ice cream?
I was going to go. I think I was going to go. That's how I was going to break myself
20-minute drive, so you should go to it.
We need 4 wins, and we have a 3-game set with the Royals coming up.
Yeah. Alex, great lead-in. I looked at our next 5 series. 2 are with the White Sox. 1's with the Royals. 1 with the Phillies. And another was with the Rangers. The Rangers are above 500
this year.
They're good. But get this. The Royals.
Get to 500 before that game.
The Royals are 14-34.
That's the team we lose 2 out of 3 to.
Evan,
if they win, Evan. If they sweep that series Thursday,
White Sox are a dumpster fire.
Dumpster fire. They're also
the boycott cadet.
Alex, go June 11th. Go to the Tigers game June 11th. It's Spartan Appreciation Day that day.
We get a cool
Thursday,
hat.
May 25th. Break the boycott.
Go to the June 11th game.
They win 4 in a row.
Why couldn't they? They played the Royals 3 times and then the White Sox at home.
White Sox are 19-29, also bad. And then the Phillies are 22-24.
And then May 26th, Friday night, I head down to Comerica Park. Just kidding, I can't. I'm going to North Carolina. All right, put it on hold for a week.
One thing I'd like to say about this team is that if we don't call up Justin Henry Malloy, JHM, in the next month, I might storm the front office. Yeah, I might.
Don't want to lose options on
January 6th.
He's my guy. He's hitting over 300, 8 home runs, I think. He's just smacking the ball around. And guess what? He plays third base. Who's our third baseman that plays every so often? Jonathan Scope. Not going to smack a guy, but Jonathan Scope's not playing so hot this year, to put it lightly.
Scope's not playing at all.
Okay. I don't believe in being too mean, so I'm just going to say he's not playing well.
He sucks.
So just know that Malloy would be a great upgrade, even if he struggles making the adjustment. He needs to be on our team. I need it to happen soon. We're technically in the mix for the division. There's no point. I mean, there probably is some point that Scott Harris would explain to me in a very smart way about why we're not going to try to rush this kid, because we tried to rush Torque and it made him take him long to adjust. Whatever. I need him up. The other things I wrote down was that are still show you how long of a way we have to go. Riley Green, great, having a great year. But he's the only qualified player with at-bats on our team who has an average OPS. And we don't have anyone that has a above or great for qualified at-bats. But it's good to see the number 5th pick in the draft, Riley Green, looking like the number 5th pick. And then the other, which gives me hope for Scott Harris, guys, let's remember this moment right here of we think about like, oh, how did this guy get on our team? How did our GM make good moves on the margins, unlike Avila? Zach McKinstry. He is the only player on our team who has an above average OPS, higher than Riley Green's. He's not qualified, but he has 100 at bats. So he's pretty much an everyday player. I went back to look because I was like, how do we even get this guy? We traded right before the season started. We gave up Carlos Guzman, don't know who that is, to the Cubs for McKinstry. And McKinstry was not going to make the Cubs roster. So this is an example of Scott Harris identifying a guy based on whatever metrics he looks at. Like, this guy could be good for us, and now he's our best hitter. So that is encouraging for us moving forward, I think. Thumbs up from Alex. He's in.
One transaction.
I don't know fucking anything about this team.
I would say this.
Yes, you do.
Be competitive in the division, and use some of the money that you're going to get from Cabrera's contract next year to actually be more competitive.
I hope so. That's the plan.
But right now, I mean, Torkelson Green, better sophomore years than last year, so that's positive. I think we have overall a more competitive batting lineup. It's just our pitching is not very good. Besides, I mean, Lang's going to be gone. Is his name right? Lang. Our closer.
I hope not. He's one of the best closers in
baseball. He's going to get traded at the deadline. Rodriguez is going to get traded at the deadline. Unless we're like first in the division, then
yeah, I think it depends how close we are. I could see us being like we're gonna hold if we're like 2 games back.
Don't talk yourself into the fact that you think we could be buyers.
We're stand patters. We're just gonna stand pat.
We're rebuilding in year 26 of the rebuild.
I think that's the goal. But if we're like 2 games back of the division, I think I can see us holding on.
Year 9.
Actually, less than that. You're like 7 for the rebuild.
Okay, but to be fair, we have to reframe. This is year 1 but yes, I do understand. It is
shit. Anything else you guys have to say about the Tigers?
Why? Did something just happen?
No, I just want to watch Succession at some point.
Yeah, you'll get there.
Yeah, Grant, it's not 8 o'clock here. It's 9.
The last thing was the PGA.
Brooksy, I'll just get out in front of this first. My picks were bad. Okay, they were bad. Sam Burns had a 44 on the front 9. I'm sorry.
We'll get to that. I went back and looked at how everyone finished. But it has to start with Cody. First ever golf pick. Nails it with Brooks. Pretty impressive, considering I think I'm the only other one to get one. And we don't do a lot. We don't have a big sample size, but
just majors.
You would think with picking a favorite, picking 2 golfers. So credit to him for getting that right. Kind of wild. Brooks is top 20 in terms of majors. So there's only 20 people that have ever won 5 majors. So I guess we have to view him as
he's better than Rory.
Yep. And
at majors,
which is
5. Rory
in my
4.
opinion, what matters.
Brooks has 5.
But like we always talk about the
wins in general.
We talk about the top Justin Thomas, but like it's been in front of us. Brooks Koepka has been like the best golfer outside of like Tiger.
Yeah.
In this
you take away his injured season, and he's the best golfer.
I guess he's older than a lot of these guys. So we're talking in this conversation.
Yeah.
If we're saying like late bloomer. Since I don't know what the year when he won 2015, 2010. If we go from like was when he first won, but I guess so since 2015. Then if we choose that date to now, 2013, then the last decade he's been like the best golfer, which didn't really hit me till today.
He just knows how to win majors. He can like really like get himself up for those better than others can. Like he mentally can lock in better than anybody else.
Which is awesome.
They all have the skill level to do it. It's for majors. It's all about mental,
which is awesome.
And he is huge. A humongous competitor and very good at that.
Best golfer in the last decade.
I just don't feel like that's...
Alex doesn't want to say it, but it's 100%
I don't mind Brooks. Like, I think he deserves it, and he's really good, and he's great at major championships. I just full-on best golfer. I'm not sure that's how that works.
Best golfer since 2013.
When was his first major? Because that's not true.
2018.
I'm just doing decade. I'm just doing the last 10 years. If you just said last 10 years, nice round number, he's the best golfer.
You say last 5 years, Grant. He has 5 majors in the last 5 years.
Yeah, but 10's spicier, right? That gets more
10
clicks.
Is like makes it less credible because Jordan Spieth had his run of majors in the 5 years prior to Brooks.
How many does he have?
And Jordan's younger.
How many does he have?
You don't know.
He has 3.
That's what you're asking.
He has 3.
Yeah.
U.S. Open, British Open, Masters.
Yeah, so you got to take Brooks over that. He's got 5.
Brooks is older.
But how many years?
4 years older.
Well, until Spieth is caught up to that, Brooks is better. I know you don't want to admit it.
3
I know you
PGAs though. You two specifically shit on the PGA all the time and say it's like not really a major, and then that's the one Brooks has won 3 times.
I'm not saying it's not a major. I'm just saying it's like
not you. Grant really shits on the PGA.
Least exciting one.
I do. That's because what everyone else says.
But that's not even true.
You can't shit on this major because the golf course beat.
I don't.
This was legit.
Beat people.
I
up.
don't think the PGA in general is a joke. I think
I'm
it's a good major, just
either.
as good as any of the other ones.
I'm just saying.
I agree,
Like,
Alex. I've always said
Grant
that.
always says it's a joke.
watchability.
Says the Players is the 4th major.
Watchability, where you like sit down and watch like as much golf as possible. You watch the Masters, you watch US Open, then you watch the Open, and then PGA is probably.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a true golf guy. I watch every weekend.
Well, no, you didn't because you were
Liar.
golfing on Saturday, so you did not watch it.
Liar.
I watch
No,
golf
Dylan.
every weekend. That's true, Evan.
You did-
That is 100%
I watched more
true.
PGA Championship than
You
you
watched
did
the
this
Mexico
weekend.
Open? No.
I
did
watched
not.
all of today, and I watched most of Thursday and Friday.
I watch every single day.
And I know you couldn't watch that much Thursday and Friday, Evan, because you're a busy guy with baseball. So
No,
lie to the
actually,
people.
no. I was watching
Don't
it
lie to
starting
the
at 8
people.
a.m. on my computer during school. So, yes, ESPN Plus, buddy.
What about after school? The 3 hours of coverage once you exited
From
school.
2 to 6 o'clock.
4 hours of coverage. That's 8
Actually,
hours of
3 to
missed
6
coverage by you,
o'clock.
Evan.
Well, you missed all of Saturday. So there was
Not
12
true. I
hours.
watched from 8
Nope,
a.m.
Nope.
to
No,
noon.
you didn't. You didn't.
I did.
Well, good thing I watched
I
the
watched
same amount of
Matt
time,
Berry and
so
the
I
caddy.
watched more than you.
No,
You took a nap today.
did.
You took a nap today and missed out on
Find the
coverage.
dumbest things. to
You
argue
said it
about.
in
I
your-
missed like 4 holes.
Oh, that's a
the
lie.
dumbest
That's a
things.
lie.
I missed like 4 holes.
That's an hour.
I watched the most. I didn't watch like any.
Yeah, Grant, we know you didn't watch any. You're a piece of shit, front runner.
Alex, you've sworn a lot tonight.
Well, I don't
See,
care.
there it is again. You want me to leave them in?
No,
Right.
I'm just prepared for
I am-
succession. There's gonna be a lot of F-bombs tonight.
Listen, we need to look all of ourselves in the mirror after this week of golf. We had 8 picks total between Cody's as well, and 4 of ours missed the cut, which is horrendous.
One of mine
guys.
cheated and missed a cut, so that's
I
why.
mean, who cheated?
Cam Young got a 2-stroke penalty for something, and that's why he missed the cut. I don't know what it was.
Joaquin Neiman was Cody's long shot, missed the cut. Evan, your guy, Shuffley, finished T18, so he was the second best favorite of the group. Ricky, though, missed the cut, and he was a high, like barely a long shot. He was up towards the
A
cut.
lot of people were
5,000.
picking him to do well.
Of course, because he's a sexy name. I mean, people see that
That has
name
never
and
won
puts-
anything.
Fire Cup. President's Cup.
Have you seen his clothes?
Have you seen his clothes?
Alex, Cam Young missed cut. Sam Burns missed cut.
Sam
So-
Burns was not just a missed cut.
Not a golf
Buddy
expert.
stunk it up on
Not
the
a
golf
golf
course.
expert.
That was bad, Alex. You gotta take a lap. For myself, both of my guys made the cut,
Oh,
but in
yeah,
inverse
of course
order
we're
of
doing
what you
a
would think.
pat ourselves on the back for
Grant, you
Grant.
pick Scotty Scheffler again.
Finau. No, I did
Oh.
Finau. He finished T72, which was
Third to
bad.
last.
he barely made the cut.
But my dart play here, guys, Evan, you'll appreciate this. I said Keegan Bradley, who was plus 11,000. And I said verbatim, he'll see his name towards the top on Saturday, and then he'll probably drop out, which is exactly what happened. He was top 10 on Saturday, and he finished T29. So I'm credit for just nailing that.
Top 30.
Knew everything about Keegan. You probably could have cashed out on Saturday and made some money. I don't know.
I don't think so. I mean, he was never
nobody
going
checked
to. He was
that.
never going to win.
He was like leading on the first day, though.
That okay
Matters.
First guy that tees off is always leading if he makes birdie on 1.
Better than nothing.
Why do you say dumb stuff, though? That doesn't
I'm just saying you can see some names in the top spot, and you're like, "What
Stop
the fuck?"
deflecting. You had an all-time bad golf prediction podcast. All time.
I honestly, I probably should have known or done some research that this course was going to be that hard. I didn't know that they were going to make it that hard,
They redid the entire
so I didn't
course
pick
layout,
a.
Alex.
I didn't pick a guy that was like
You
gritty.
didn't know that?
I should have picked a gritty guy. Oh. I knew the rough was thick, but I didn't think the fairways would be 2 feet wide. I thought they could hit the
Yeah,
fairways.
dude.
Redesign of
I
a
was
bunch of
stunned at how
holes,
big it
too.
was.
I knew they've changed the course. I thought they would hit fairways. I thought they would just avoid the rough,
They
you know,
likes
be a
golf.
professional
Unbelievable.
golfer.
As
I picked Michael
and
Block.
as much as people complain about Brooks and Bryson had their feelings. It's more exciting when they're involved.
Not Bryson.
I was like,
Bryson's a loser.
Bryson congratulated
No,
Brooks
it's
on the
exciting.
way to his signing the
I
card.
saw that. More
Well, they're friends. They
more
live guys that stay
congratulations
together.
than Jenna Sims had for Brooks. Which was
Brooks
interesting.
only won because she wasn't there.
Wow.
That's a hot take.
That sounds like a Garrett take. That
No,
was you speaking to Garrett.
That wasn't. He didn't say that, but I'm sure he does think that. Like if I said that to him, he'd be like,
You know,
100%.
Full circle, Conor McGregor, for one of his fights, his family stayed back in Ireland just because he really wanted to dial in on his craft and didn't want distractions. And he trained better, but he ended up twisting his ankle and breaking it, so it didn't matter.
Tony Finau told his family not
He
to
travels.
come, and he won.
Oh,
But he
Oh, yeah,
does
right.
take his family to every tournament, though. Besides that one, that he won.
it seems like a lot of anxiety, if I'm being honest.
He has like 3 kids, too. 3 or 4 kids.
That's the show. Subscribe to YouTube if you've made it this far, and also submit your questions. This week couldn't do any because we recorded earlier, but next week we'll be back to questions. Might be the return of snake drafts. I don't want to get out ahead of myself, but if nothing crazy happens this week, we're probably back to a snake draft to fill some time.
Tires
So,
win the next 8
cheers.
games and we're first in the AL Central.
Our show on the tires. Cheers to episode 122
Cheers.
into summer.
Cheers.
Enjoy Memorial Day, everybody.